What is going on, Comic Bookie fans? This is Mike with Mark and Sean for another week of the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 109. We are live on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoy the episode. Unfortunately, we don't have a guest this week, but fortunately for you guys, it's still us coming back for another week of colliding the worlds of sports and comics, Over on the comic book side, we have plenty of books to get into, and all of us have a gripe with Marvel Comics. Plenty of news as well. Jonathan Kent is our new Superman. Khaleesi is going to join the cast of an upcoming MCU TV show. The Flash begins production, and Legends of Tomorrow loses a cast member. And over in sports, huge week. It's Talladega week. Is Stephen Curry the MVP? Patrick Marlow's huge night a couple nights ago. We check in with the MLB, including the Oakland Athletics, winning 11 straight up to this point on Wednesday, and the Super League. And the Super League. Short-lived, but we're sure as hell going to talk about it. This is the Comic Bookies podcast. Come one, come all. Let's do this thing. Mark.
Classic.
Mark's. Well, he thought he was on mute.
Dude, I always pause it too.
That's hilarious. Hey, what's up, everybody who's watching right now? What's going on?
What it do?
You're watching now. If you're watching,
yeah, you guys just had a little sneak peek of.
We're behind the scenes of
hey,
podcast.
I'm a day late, but I thought I'd celebrate, huh? All right.
Oh, there we go. I know. Happy late 420.
A little late wake and bake.
All right, so that's the intro. So let's go back live in 3, 2, and 1. And welcome back, everyone. This is the Comic Bookies podcast. First, our sponsor, very generous. I'm sorry. I'm fucking up too. Welcome back, everyone, to the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 109, live on YouTube and Twitch. First, our sponsor, Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Today, Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. Go out and get your books, new and old. Today, I actually got, 4 new books, and I picked up a whole big trade paperback of Crisis on Infinite Earth. So Alex, he has it all, and if he doesn't have it in stock, then he can order it for you, and you'll have it in 5 to 7 business days. Well, Sean and Mark, it's great to see you guys every week. I'm kind of missing a 4th square up there on the live feed, but hey, you know what? It was a good 3-week run, and we actually have another guest next week, but time for a little break. So what's happening, guys? How are you doing?
I agree, man. You know what? I kind of missed it just us three. I love the interviews, but episode 109, happy hump day, happy new comic book day. It is definitely good to have a nice TCB episode, just me and my 2 brothers. Right back to the collide in the world of sports and comics. Everything's good, guys. One day closer to the weekend. I know it was one of those days today at work. I think we could all agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
But no, definitely happy to kick it for the next couple hours and do what we do. And yeah, man, I'm excited. Good fun little episode. All the sports stuff going on, comic book, movies, the stuff that we love. Mark, how's it going, boy?
Going good. Lots of big news for us to touch on. Crazy week. Looking forward to some races. Looking forward to some books. And yeah, man, it's going to be fun. I'm excited. Excited to finally get a episode that's more just us, It's love those interviews and everything. But I'm sure that I know that even the fans would probably like to hear us crosstalk with each other sometimes. And here it is, man, before we get into another interview next week. But that's for a surprise for you guys. But yeah, man, let's get into it. Unless you guys want to talk about anything else, man, I'm ready to hit it.
I was looking at just today at work, my wife, she sent me a text, like a picture of like what the weather's looking like the next few days. It's like all over the place. It's like one of those weeks where it's like, oh, she's like, this is how people get sick. It's like 50-something degrees and then up to like 80 and then down to 60-something and up to, almost 90 and then back down into the 70s, like up and down. I think one random day next week it's supposed to rain out here in the valley. It's like, dude, what the hell? Like this is like the peak, getting sick time. So you guys stay safe, get your vitamin C going, all your airbornes and whatnot, because you guys are coming over to the Palace next Saturday. So please don't get sick or your ass is not coming.
For those who don't know, May 1st is our brother Mike's birthday, so we will be at the crib, kicking it, barbecue. I'm sure he's going to have something special for us on the Traeger.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows, maybe you'll see TCB live. You never know. You could definitely get a surprise.
Yeah, the menu is still secret. I'll share with you guys after the show, and I'll share live during the interview at some time next week, but it's going to be fire.
Secret menu, huh? It's like the In-N-Out out here, huh?
Oh, dude, it's going to... dude. Every taste bud on your tongue is going to be...
It can't be that secret if you're asking me what I prefer, whether it's the pulling pork or a tri-tip. Fans out there, if anyone's watching live, let us know. What do you prefer off the Traeger? You get a little bit pulled pork or some tri-tip?
I see a Twitter vote coming up tonight.
I know, right? if anyone is watching right now, share the stream and then hashtag Traeger Nation. So everyone who's on the Traeger right now or was earlier tonight can chime in. But no, I had to get, the meat's the biggest thing. Sides and stuff, I can go ahead and play around with it, kind of go kid-friendly and adult-friendly and in the appetizers as well, but I had to get the opinion of you guys as far as what the meat's concerned. So I'm going to have a nice 18 to 24-hour marinade on 2 nice big tri-tips, and I'm going to do I'm going to do 2 different rubs on them, so you're going to get a taste of something different. So I haven't done 2 tri-tips at once, so we'll see how it turns out, but I'm sure they'll be okay.
And I know you watched that Netflix documentary, I believe, on the seafood. So I don't know how enticed you are to maybe get a little bit of smoked salmon on that Traeger,
you know
man.
What?
But that's some of the best.
Come on, Abrams, that's salmon. Yeah. Here you go.
That's some of the best smoked poultry, if you will, that I've had before, man. It's great.
You know what? Actually, my wife was like, you know what? We should do like 1 tri-tip, because you go to Costco, you get the 2-pack of tri-tip. And she's like, you know what? You want to do 1 tri-tip, and then we have a frozen salmon in the freezer. And I was like, I don't know. Like, do I do both tri-tips or do 1 and 1?
I can't wait.
I don't know. Well, if I do the salmon, 2 of us in this house are not eating it, so it might be some leftovers taken with you, home with you guys.
Oh, definitely. I'll take that home
my
all
language.
day.
I like that.
Or
I'll definitely bring the to-go plate.
I'll have it for leftovers. Not 1, not 2.
Here we go.
Not 3, not 4.
There we go. All right, fellas, let's get into the actual, pun intended, the meat and potatoes of this. Did I just unveil one of the secret items? The meat and potatoes of this podcast. So first is the comic books this week. So everyone interested in comic books, this is your next 25 minutes. DC, The Flash, 769, Nightwing, 79, Justice League, 60, Catwoman, number 30, and this damn Fortnite Batman 0.1. We'll get into it in a little bit. Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man 64, Avengers 45, X-Force 19, Captain Marvel 28, and this new kind of off story on the X-Men, The Way of X, number 1. Boom Studios, we got Power Rangers 6 and The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. A new story, number 1, comes out today. Over on Image, plenty of books to talk about there. Monstrous 33, Radiant Black 3, Ha, number 4. I'm excited about this one. Ultra Mega 2 and Stray Dogs, number 3. IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 116, and finally AWA, they got 1 offering this week, Man's World, number 4. That sounds nice. So, what do you guys want to talk about? I mean, we didn't talk about books last week, so over the last 2 weeks, anything that you guys liked, what you disliked, because I tell you, there's like maybe 1 or 2 books that I want to highlight that I really enjoyed, but this week, I'm sorry, I'm going negative on this one. So before I get to my negativity, go ahead, you guys go first.
I got to go with my positivity on Home number 1, which I was very fortunate to snag a copy of. And I know pre-production, just a quick little gist of what it was. Pretty much a family, a mother and son, leaving their South American country due to whatever issues or seeking asylum. So they're working their way to Mexico, to the U.S., to go live with her sister. And it was just so relatable to the things that are happening right now because, a lot of, basically illegals come to our country, and once they seek asylum, unfortunately, the father and the mother and the son are separated, and we hear all the horror stories of them freezing, of them pretty much caged like animals.
Yeah.
But the son is actually a hero within his own right. He has some superpowers, and there is a cover of the story on Mark's page right there. And nice. Pretty much the kid is separated from the mother, and he is trying to find his mother. Where's my mom? Where's my mom? I'm kind of caged up, and he kind of goes into like a solitary confinement. He uses his powers, which is kind of like, what the heck is happening again? His hands start lighting up, and he just blasts a hole in the wall. He has super speed, so he pretty much escapes the confined area that he is, and that's kind of where it ends. And it kind of just like, okay, has a little bit of that little hero aspect to it. But I think just the idea of the whole illegal people being separated from their family, it kind of just hit home a little bit because of what we're going through right now as a country. And a lot of people are really going through that right now. And you guys know me, I love comic books that it can relate to real life stuff. So from that aspect, it was definitely a goodie. I really liked it. You would really like it, Mike, for sure.
Who writes that? If you guys have the book in front of you, who writes it, and who are the artists? That sounds really interesting.
Well, Julio Anta is the writer for Image Comics, guys. I don't know even if I can name, because it looks just like the end of the English alphabet. But Anna.
Anna
Wysis. It's like pronouncing Coach K's last name. It's like Coach K. I don't know how it's Krzyzewski when it's spelled like Ary. I mean, I don't know, bro. But
and Anna Wyszeks.
Wyszewski, yeah. Julio Anta,
Polish
on the writer.
You never know. It might be that, or oh god, I don't even want to take a guess and insult the.
Brian Valenza on the colors. Guys, this is pretty much, I was in there talking to Alex earlier, and I kind of said, I remember when I was first doing this podcast, I came across a story on one of our comic book news parts of the podcast, and it was about how some guy had donated. You guys might have remembered this, probably within our 50 episodes. Some guy donated actually a bunch of comics to some library, I think in South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. I remember that story.
And I remember it was, they were talking about how it was important to kind of keep this in like the history books and comics, because it's a way they portray like pop fiction of those times and eras and decades and whatnot, right? And obviously, guys, I mean, we can tell when we're reading through these comics week in and week out. They mentioned the social media aspect, and it's like a lot of what's going on in pop culture today. So, I mean, you're right, Sean. This home, it definitely hits home, pun intended, with what's going on down there at the borders. Us being here in California, I'm not sure people, Texas, New Mexico was just crazy. Border Patrol. We're big fans here of the Mayans. We see how it's depicted in Hollywood and whatnot, Netflix. But yeah, I mean, I think that the writer, Julio, obviously has a story and a reasoning behind wanting to write this book. At the end, I don't want to spoil it, but I think you guys should pick it up if you guys are into this type of stuff, but kind of gives a little gist on the end of why he kind of wrote it and what was his thoughts behind it.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
it's
man.
Real shit, man. It's good. I really liked it.
It's going to be I think it's a five issue part, one of those that we always talk about, get in, get out. And yeah, I suggest that you guys pick it up. Once again, it came out last week, not this week, but it is a great book. Thanks for sharing that one, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago, actually, 7 Secrets. It's one of those ones where the 6th issue ended, and I was like, what? Like, this is kind of weird, to end an arc. And Sean, actually, it's one of those ones like Strange Academy where they took like 2 or 3 months off. So issue 7 finally started a brand new arc, but then it's sucked me back in. Like the end of that issue and the beginning half of issue 7 was so weird, and then it like totally told like a story of the main kid in this story, like where he came from, how he originated, how he was born, but then taken to a different land and raised by these weird fairy type creatures. It's super weird, but it like, man, I'm like, oh damn, dude, like it was to the point where it's like, do I dump this? And then by the end of it, I'm like, nah, never mind. This is actually a top 10 book that I'm getting right now. So, but actually, and then from last week, probably my favorite book. I'm sorry if this was one that you were waiting for till the end, but The Joker, man. James Tynion, he's doing it again. The Joker.
Why wait?
The Joker was amazing. I mean, just everything, all the aspect of, and then Batman comes in, finally he unveils to his daughter Barbara that he knows that he was Batgirl at some point, and she's been Oracle, and now she's Oracle again. It was funny how he did that. Oh yeah, what your old man? It was funny how the back and forth between those two. But my favorite part was probably the last couple pages where it shows the different factions, the different mafias, the different gangs, what have you, that are all gonna go and try to kill the Joker, because somehow they killed someone very important in Arkham that they're connected to. So you had the family that looked like they were straight out of a Rob Zombie movie. I forgot what they were called. And then you had the Bane. Excuse me. Yeah. They pretty much made a new Bane. It's some chick. I wonder if she's new or whatever. Oh, the Samsons. I think the Samson was that family, right? And then finally the Court of Owls. I'm always interested in the Court of Owls and what they have to offer as far as the Batman story. This is connected, and not for nothing, this punchline story at the very end, a little side story, that's pretty good too. It's one of the best ones I'm reading as far as this new era, this infinite frontier, and these side stories that we're getting in some of these DC books. This punchline one's one of my favorites. So what'd you guys think about Joker? Number 2.
Joker was awesome, bro. I think my favorite, honestly, is just the Jim Gordon aspect in the beginning. Just the way he's kind of talking to himself. He's like working with Batman, but he's kind of lying to Batman. Yeah, I'll take him alive. And even like Barbara's like, did you hear what he said? I don't know like the wording he used. Bring him back to life. He goes, yeah, that's what was, oh man, I can't think.
He goes, yeah, that's like what does he say? God damn it.
What does he say? Oh man, that stood out to me. It was just,
that makes sense to me.
That makes sense to me. And Barbara's like, did you hear what he said?
Yeah, he didn't technically say that he's going to bring him in safe and sound.
I love that aspect of it because, I mean, obviously Jim Gordon's taken a way bigger role, and obviously he's going after the Joker, as he should. So, no. And obviously with Barbara, his daughter, so it's really good, that aspect with him and Batman, because it seems even like a little bit different than like obviously the Batman, Jim Gordon movies that we know. Jim, I need the bat sign, need to call Batman, but Jim's trying to take care of it on his own, to be honest.
It's actually good timing too, because if people read this book and they become really good fans of Jim Gordon all over again, that's what we're going to get in that new like Gotham City PD or whatever TV show that's coming out on HBO Max.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to center, I saw an article earlier this week that's going to center around Jim Gordon. So I'm actually really excited. It's not just me, but tons of fans out there who are reading this book. They're probably going to, get excited in the new TV show coming out, I think next year.
Well, if that's what the new TV show ends up being, will it better depict Jim Gordon than the Gotham show that we watched? I kind of like Gotham.
Because the Gotham was even earlier, because we didn't see we didn't even see Batman until the very last episode. It was literally a mirror image of Smallville, where like you saw the red cape, the last freaking scene of the last episode of the 10th goddamn season. So but this one, Batman's already established. I think it's year 1. I think it's a prequel to the movie. So the movie's year 2, and the show will be closer to year 1. So it's still going to be a younger Jim Gordon though. So it's going to be good.
Well, you know what I like about it, actually? I kind of like how, I don't know if Tynion just found a way to kind of spin off Jim Gordon, from the Nakano that he create, the new mayor or whatever, and everything that's going on in the city. But it's almost like I feel like I'm reading a Jim Gordon story. Yeah, it's the Joker book, but what a way that Tynion has of making it the Joker book, which is going to sell, right, guys? Because we're going to buy it. Joker, obviously, you guys look at my studio, right? But what I'm trying to say is the way to kind of bring another character into it, that's kind of really the focal point, really, in these first 2 issues, in my opinion, have been Jim Gordon more than the Joker, and his feelings and his bouts and everything with Joker and the nightmares and just being, away from Gotham now and just still trying to do good. It's just, I really enjoy the story that Tynion is hitting forth for in this Joker story, man. I just I don't know how far it's gonna be with Gordon. Like if in my opinion, like, let me ask you guys this question.
At least the
let me
first
bounce
arc.
it off to you guys. Is Gordon going to be like one arc, or you think it's going to be like kind of continuing back and forth throughout like this Joker series right now, at least maybe until Tynion is done with the run?
Well, that's the safe thing about having it called the Joker, because you can always have Joker somewhere in the background. They can have a 6-issue arc with Gordon, and then they can move on to someone else that's either trying to hunt him or like someone else that he's fighting against. But it's always going to be the Joker, either in the forefront or in the background of the story. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? That's actually a really good question. If anyone's watching right now and they're reading the same story, like, what do you guys think? But yeah, I mean, what a loop he's throwing us for, Tynion. Oh, the Joker, pick it up. And you see like the Joker in like 5 pages total so far. The guy who looks like freaking Adolf Hitler is trying to tell him, you should get the hell out of here because you've pissed off a lot of people, and you can't stay here, can't sit here, So it's gonna be good going forward. At least that first arc, and we'll see what happens after the first 6.
None of you guys are getting AWA, Upshot, Chariot. Let us know, guys, anyway, by the Joker. Let us know in the comments. Let us know on our Instagram, Twitter, what you guys think about the Joker going forward in this new story, man. It's 2 issues in, getting good, and I'm excited how Tynion is obviously the writer of Batman and also writing this one, so they're going to have close ties. But any of you guys down with the Chariot from Brian Edward Hill, any of you guys on Grant Morrison's Boom's Proctor Valley Road, I'm 50-50 on that one. I'm going to probably continue it, but I don't know, guys. It's too Grendel, Kentucky for me, if you will. Scumbag. I know we can save Scumbag for last since Mike already spoiled the Joker and kind of gave up the flame. But if you pick, man, before we get into these 2 books that I got showing right here for this week upcoming. But Mike, you want to, unless Sean had anything, either Scumbag or Detective.
I think I got to hear about Scumbag. I still obviously haven't read it, but I love when you guys talk about it because it's like, okay, I got to really get like the trade paperback or something when it comes out.
If you want a good laugh,
hold on.
Just wait till the Scumbag
all of us
talk.
pick up Batman? Did all of us pick up Batman the Detective?
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Okay, so did all of us read it?
Sure did.
So let's talk Scumbag. We'll save Batman the Detective for last before we get into these. Mike, how'd you like the Scumbag once again?
Scumbag was cool,
Rick
man.
Remender. That cover, man.
Yeah. How do you think Batman stays awake?
Yeah, and that's kind of weird how it was like the last page of the last issue 6, and then they come back with this issue. If the fans can see that are live with us right now, you got he's doing a little bit of
cocaine
with Christina Aguilera and Lindsay Lohan talking about. But I don't know, Mike. I think that this issue was probably the worst issue that I've read so far.
I would kind of agree with you. My opinion. It sets up the new arc. Like he's somewhere else. It's a new mission. They're following another lead, but at the same time that that he's kind of in the back pocket of the Scorpionus. So at the same time he knows that he's going to get something for Scorpionus. So.
And now you got this chick just talking to him about, the difference if he picks love or hate. Mm-hmm. And then like she puts his girl Petal at the end, which is obviously going to propel us into issue 8, which, this idiot, he's just going to do something just off the wall to just try to get laid because you know how this dude is. It's just straight scumbag, man. I mean, the stuff that Rick Remender comes up to write in this crap, it's just like, where does he go find this stuff, dude? It's just
like we're lucky. Like I'm lucky that I like the Punisher Max series so much right now because I'm just like on it. I need to see it through the first 10 volumes. But man, I got the first 3 volumes of Deadly Class sitting over there in my freaking hutch. I want to pick it up so bad, knowing now that Rick Remender's writing it. It's like, oh, if I can expect anything of the same, I can't wait to start that. I'm starting it next for sure.
Right.
But I mean, it was but I get what you're saying. It was kind of weird with the henchmen outside that they were fighting against. It was just kind of not what I expected. It was more like kind of sci-fi-ish than just like the real gritty, like him at the bar blowing everyone up with the gold bomb, and you know what I'm saying, like just the, you know what I'm saying. It was just kind of different. And there's sometimes I like different, but in this, instance, I didn't like how it was different. So hopefully it kind of reels back in issue 8 going forward.
Yeah, definitely. There's always one thing that won't be different about this scumbag is his power to pursue the P. You know what I mean?
If his affinity for the drugs
just,
and the AS.
Yeah, it's just what does he say? He says there's a part when he
AS.
says there's a part where he says, "Oh, I don't need something something." He's like, "Cocaine is my co-pilot."
Oh yeah,
I'm just like
like I don't have any fear or guilt or regrets or whatever.
cocaine right here. Cocaine is my co-pilot. I'm like, this dude is wild, man. It's just this is probably the craziest book I've read so far. You know, I've read some books that have had a couple arcs or not arcs, but a couple issues or a couple, couple issues. But man, this one to just every book is just dirty, demonizing, just
it's crazy.
He just don't give a damn. But hey, that's why we always say on this podcast that there is something for each and every one of you out there. Mm-hmm. I hate the stigma that comic books are for kids, because I'll tell you the truth. I used to think that till I did this podcast. Now I'm doing this podcast, got a sponsorship, TI Comics. You guys check them out. Fremont, California, at TI Comics, Twitter, Instagram, guys. But from doing this podcast, I'll tell you what I figured out, man. I figured out that I'd say 20%, 25 are probably for kids, and 80 to 75% of comics are usually, adult-wise.
I mean, can you imagine?
Like in nature,
can you honestly imagine if you took every single person in the world who watches movies and TV shows right now based off of comic books, and I'm not just saying like Marvel and DC, but like Deadly Class was a TV show, Preacher, all these ones were like based off of comic books, Walking Dead. Can you imagine if those people then turned around and started reading comic books, how much money that would? The industry would freaking explode. Because, not gonna lie, pre-spring of, or summer 16, I talk shit about comic books. I was like, it's nerd stuff, Batman, Superman. I love the movies, I love the TV shows and stuff like that. But it's like, that's kind of hypocritical. Like, you watch all the TV shows of Batman, Superman, everything, but you're not gonna read the books. It's like, it's not like picking up novels and stuff like a Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or whatever. It's like a 15-minute read. If it's Thor, it's 4 minutes and 49 seconds. But, nonetheless, can you imagine the industry and the comic book scene, how if it would blow up if every single person that watches WandaVision turns around and goes and starts reading, Thor or Batman or Scumbag or whatever? Like, insane.
Well, I talked to Alex today. He kind of gave me a lowdown a little bit more on what the statistics and numbers might be a little bit more accurate besides our thinking, because we're kind of thinking, there's 100,000 comic book readers in America. How? There's 350 million people in this country. You're telling me not even 500,000? Alex kind of, he told me, well, there are more readers. The thing is, 100,000 probably have pull lists. 100,000 probably read like the separate issues like me and you. But he said where they really make their money, where you got like more readers, probably millions and whatnot, that's the trade paperbacks like you got today, Mike, Crisis on Infinite Earths and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But he said that it just appeals more space saving wise, just getting into, the comic. He said, obviously, we live in the Bay Area. We have a great access. California, it's kind of easy to get to a comic book shop around in these metropolitan areas that all over the country. But obviously, there's parts in the country that is not rural or whatever, and you don't really have access to comic book stores or even if they do have an access to a comic book store, it might be a little bit farther like it is for you, Mike. If you didn't work out here, I don't know how feasible it would be for you to go from Tracy to Fremont every week, right? So that could be a problem.
The one that you went to, like the one in Antioch, that's like the closest one.
That could be a problem that we're facing, in my opinion. If you live farther away from a store, you're like, I can only go to the store like once every 2 or 3 months. So why the hell am I going to try to pick up all these books, issues individually for $3.99, $4.99 when I can just get the trade paperback and wait and go back every 3 months, whatever. But definitely, man, I wish there was more of a crossover from the entertainment, the motion picture side of it, going into the comic book reading side of it, because we all know how important it is to read. One of the most important things, we got kids, one of the most important thing is you got to read to them at night, expand their brain, and get them thinking about different aspects. And Reading is very, very important. And let me tell you guys, as much as you guys might think that it's kiddish or whatnot, but I'm telling you, 80% of comics are for adults.
Yeah.
100%, man.
I mean,
It's just, and even dwindling it down to like these Batmans, right? You go into the store, someone that might not know much about Batman, but you see him on Target, you see him at Walmart, the toys, you let your kid play with them, Batman. You walk into a comic book store, I'll let my kid read, man. And then you got like these crazy, I mean, some of these artists, I saw the variant for Joker the other day, Joker 2. I was about to pick up one of the variants. I don't know if you guys saw it, but man, it's like knife in his hand, blood on the floor. It's like some of these, Batman or not, it's just, don't let the name fool you just because you see these toys and stuff at Target and Walmart, man. These comics are Batman detectives. They can be kind of gruesome at times.
I mean, I was listening to an interview on the Fat Man Beyond, and Ed Brubaker, I think his name was, he was on there. He actually was the one who created Winter Soldier, kind of brought Bucky Barnes back to life in like 2005 and made him the Winter Soldier what he is. And he said his daughter, I think, she wants to be, I forgot the specifics, but I mean, you have instances like this where you have kids nowadays who watch these Pixar movies and the Disney movies who want to be like graphic designers and work in that. So imagine you have someone who wants to read comic books as well. If you introduce them to comic books, that kind of may steer them in a direction that way, wanting to work in animation or production of these live action or cartoon movies as well. So I mean, it can open up kids' imaginations to a whole new world, like not like uh-oh. We good?
The hell happened?
I don't know.
Did you see that?
I saw
that was a sign.
Something happened.
That was a
Are we
sign.
still
right
live?
there.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live. But no, comic books
we're
can
good.
open up the imaginations to like anything, and it's just a great thing. So I mean, so moving on. So Mark, before we get to the Flash, I just want to mention me and Sean are expecting big things from this Alien #2. I would think you would concur, Sean.
That might be the best Marvel book right now, to be honest.
On the Skybound of the Image side, Ultra Mega, I randomly picked it up last month. Amazing first issue. So second issue I'm excited about. And Justice League from Brian Michael Bendis. Man, it's only 2 issues in of BMB's run, but if it doesn't get good in the next few issues, I might already drop it. So other than that, Aaron, what's going on, guys? Hey, what's up, Aaron? Thanks for dropping down into the chat. Thank you so much.
Aaron, what's up?
All right, Mark, let's do
Aaron.
Flash first.
You got to do that with Sean, baby. That's his guy. So I know it was my pick for the week, but that's because obviously, I mean, I should have, if I knew how hot Fortnite was going to be, but I don't play no damn Fortnite. So we might be giving this one away. I might be having to give up my issue sealed and indirect for the fans. This is how much I love you guys, but let us know.
Where's that drop there? Like, dude, we have a massive giveaway.
I wish I could get one of my guys live. I should have booked them earlier, man, to talk about it because I got him a copy and he knows a lot more about the whole story. You get some type of like Harley skin or something for the game.
You can play as her or something. I don't know.
You wish you would have known if you saw how much this damn thing was going on for eBay right now. But comic bookie fans, you can get yours for free. Maybe check out some contest rules coming up here in the next couple days. But guys, let's get into it. Flash, what are you guys expecting, man? I'm expecting. Are you expecting what you're going to be expecting in that Superman that you talked about, Mike? Is it going to be a whole new Flash? Because that's what it's looking.
Well, he's in a different
right?
part of time from the last issue, so who knows? And it might be an issue full of just the Dominators and how he's fighting against them. And then by the end of the issue, he'll be in another part of time or whatever. So, Sean, what are you expecting, man? I know you expect a lot from Flash. I don't want to drop it. It's not in the Batman detective action Superman realm where I don't think I would ever drop it no matter what. But, oh my God, I've been reading Flash nonstop since 2016. Give me a reason not to drop it.
Why?
I think that's the thing, bro. I don't know how many more we can keep getting though until it gets better. Like it hasn't been bad, but it hasn't like really been good. It really hasn't given us a reason to keep it. That's my biggest thing. Other than just like you've read it for so long,
and the art's been good.
Well, other than the issue with Wally going back in trapped in time, like that actually was like all right. This could be something good. I mean. we just need something. That's really all it comes down to right now. Because I mean, it started hecka good, but while I was reading it, I was watching all the CW episodes. I'm like, I've seen these characters. I've kind of getting aligned of what's going on, but then it just kind of just really getting repetitive. I'm getting lost in the Speed Force and
Yeah, I mean,
the villain.
once they got away from like Reverse Flash, Gorilla Grodd, they started doing like that Paradox story arc. And right now, like I need a classic Flash villain right now.
I need Reverse Flash, bro. Like even it's so classic, but it's so good. It
Yeah.
really is. Like,
I agree.
and what was that speedster from the CW show? The one after
Godspeed.
was it Godspeed, the one in all black?
The all black one? Oh, you mean Zoom?
Zoom. Even like a story with Zoom. Like I know these are like from this show, but I mean
Savitar.
I kind of like
Remember Savitar when he like the whole season tried to save him?
Good characters.
So what are the if I could put odds, I think the odds for you guys would have to be different though, but what are the odds of you guys taking if either drop it or keep it, the Flash? I mean, I'm kind of 50-50 right now.
I mean,
like you said, I don't think it's as bad as Batman Superman started to get, where I was like, I'm about to drop this, and it saved me one time, and Williamson saved me again, and I ended up dropping it because I wanted to get more into the indie stuff. But I mean, the Flash, I mean, it's been kind of a day one book with us here on this podcast, with the movie coming out, with the CW show and how big of a character he kind of is, and the whole realm of the DCU. I can't really see myself dropping it.
Yeah, I mean, especially
although it's not my first to read.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's one of those ones where since we have the generous sponsorship from Treasure Island Comics, it's one of the ones where we can justify keeping it because we get a handful, like given to us. So it's like why would we drop it when there could be something good come along the way? And odds are, like month to month, because remember it's down to once a month, so it's not like we have to pay it for twice, monthly. It could be free, like either way. So I don't think I'm gonna drop it, but I'm tired of complaining about it every month. That's for damn sure. I want to have a positive conversation about the Flash. 769 next week. And
this is probably my tied third favorite book that I read last week. The one that we all got, although I did enjoy Home and Joker a little bit more than it. And Scumbag was probably about right on par with it, but Batman Detective, if you guys want to get into it real quick.
That was actually really good. I loved kind of the transition of him going from I got to leave, obviously Gotham, I'm going to go, cross the pond. And obviously, you've seen the plane crash, and they're like, what that twist, but kind of like at the end, like ended up being people that Batman at one point saved. Yeah. So you kind of think, who the heck is this villain? Like, what kind of sick person is this? So I don't know. I really liked it. Even throughout like the story, you see him kind of explaining, I'm older now. I got to be smarter now. When I hit him, I got to make sure it hurts him now. I can't be catching all these quick guys anymore. So he's definitely older, but no, it's a fun little story. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, it had the Europa feel, like Mark I asked you about. So, I mean, he goes to Europe now. He's working with other people, So it's definitely like a way off continuity, but it's sort of in the same realm because doesn't he mention that he doesn't have Alfred anymore? So it's the same.
Have Alfred.
It's the same. So I do like it. It was one of the ones where it went from okay, thank God this is only 6 issues to like, oh damn, this is only 6 issues. Like, this could get really good. Like, I could see this as a maxi series, but at the same time, it's like, okay, cool. They can put together a really, really good story within 6 issues, and then it's just gone. Like, I'm happy it's like that. So, Mark, what'd you think?
And I'll admit, I did enjoy the ending of the book a lot more than the beginning. I feel like the first couple pages, it was kind of like, am I really going to enjoy this? Not too familiar on Tom Taylor's work. I asked you if you were going to pull it, and the response I get from your guys' host here on the Comic Bookies podcast is Tom Taylor, Batman. Duh. So I'm not too familiar with Taylor yet. I mean, 6 issues, of course, I'm going to pull it, guys. I just want to see a little bit more how it's going to go. I think this is one of the books that probably the second issue is going to be a little bit better going into what I know now about, or what you guys know now too, because this is obviously a new story. But I'm excited. I really don't have an opinion on it yet. I'll just leave it at that. Really, I'm excited for it. If it was an ongoing, I probably wouldn't pull it, to be honest with you. So DC, you're smart because you're gonna get my money for 6 issues, man. Here it is, Batman Detective. Once again, this is from last week, guys. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. See what we get from it, guys.
They actually changed the name too. I think it was like Batman Dark Knight or something like that, and they had to change it to Batman the Detective. So, but Mark, if you want to know more about Tom Taylor and his past work, just come on down the road in Newark to my parents' house, and we'll go upstairs to my mom's closet, and we will get her long boxes of every single Injustice book to date. Injustice, Gods Among Us, years 1 through 5.
Marine
Injustice 2,
man.
she has every single one of those issues. So. And if you're interested in some Buffy, she might let you borrow that too. So, but yeah, so this damn Fortnite, dude. So this is way over my head, way over my pay grade. I'm not doing the, what the hell's the dance called? That orange, the freaking, where it's like, what the hell's that dance?
Oh, you gotta stand up and do it now,
good.
bro.
You'd be doing the dance if you had an episode. We always get them confused on this podcast. If you had an episode, if you had an issue to put it on eBay, you'd be doing the damn dance, guys.
Man. So I mean, do we have a synopsis of the story? Because I know it's like they're fighting against Fortnite characters, right? Isn't Batman fighting against Fortnite characters?
I'm not sure, man. I know that Harley Quinn kind of gets like a new suit. I don't know if the suit has anything to do with the book itself. If it changes her abilities, if you will, or if she teams up with the Fortnite. I haven't read too much into it. I actually wish that I would have. Excuse me for not doing so. If I knew that it would have been this big, I asked Alex to get me a couple of these copies for my friend and I. I just wanted to get it because my buddy wanted to get it, because he's a big Fortnite guy, and I'm a big Batman guy, obviously not Fortnite, but I said, all right, I'll get it for you. Shit, I might as well get it for myself too. See what it's about. I want to read it. Nonetheless, that I know it was going to come bagged up because it comes with a code for a Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity. Just got done reading that one. It comes with a Harley Quinn skin or something. If you guys are out there in the chat, let us know what the hell a skin is for all us guys that are not on Fortnite.
Sounds like some Dexter shit.
But I was actually kind of depressed. I was, to tell you the truth, if you guys do not know, you guys are going to be listening to this come a couple of days from when we're recording this on 4/21/2021. But I was talking to Alex, and he was kind of like, "Oh, it's already going for like $40 on eBay," and I'm just like, "What the hell? They're bagged up." So it's like you can't really open it and read it and try to resell it on eBay. So now I'm kind of like, it's a story that I'm not 100% all about because obviously I'm not a Fortnite guy. Do I sell it? Do I open it up and read it, try to sell the code? And I came to a conclusion kind of earlier when I went to the bathroom before we started recording. I thought about, I'm like, maybe we can give this out to a fan. You know what I mean? Like, keep that in the works. I don't know. Maybe your thoughts on it, Mike, Sean. But I kind of thought about giving away my copy. Obviously, I'm going to give the other one to my buddy who's going to use the code and actually utilize his book. But we're all about, making money here, try to hit on some stocks and whatnot. But hey, we're all about the fans too. So I might be trying to give away my copy. Let's see if we can come up with something fun that we can give this thing away to a loyal listener out there, guys.
Did everything come out okay, Mark?
What do you mean?
Went to the bathroom. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Oh, I didn't have Taco Bell, so yeah.
Well, you're getting up there in age, bro. We're gonna start having to go to the doctor once a year for what.
Well, you're getting up there in age. For in about 10 years, we're going to have to start getting the thumb stuck up our buttholes to check her. Shit.
That's what we're going to say when does it. Shit.
As long as it's not Kawhi. Hey, as long as it's not Kawhi's fingers.
Oh God, or
E.T.
Was it Larry Fitzgerald or what was the receiver with DeAndre Hopkins or one? I forgot who it was. Julio.
Hey, maybe by then they'll have. Maybe that's 10 years from now. Maybe the technology will be
Can't
advanced,
do
and
like
it's just
MRI or something like that.
yeah. Maybe it's just gonna be like a little microscopic type
Maybe.
fiber optic, that could just. I
Or at
don't
least
know.
just
I don't want
or
to
at least
think
just
about it.
one.
I talked to some older guys at the job about
Yeah.
it. And it's pretty funny, dude. Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah. Just give me something that it's just like one knuckle in. Just I don't want to, I don't need to go all up in.
And I'm laughing at him like, oh, I actually
Next topic,
took one
please.
of my I actually took one of my coworkers on lunch to get I think it was to get that done. And it's like he couldn't drive. I had to drive him, and it's just I'm like, dude. I was like laughing at him, not
He's gonna be
knowing or
laughing at
knowing
you.
that in 10 years it's gonna be my ass. But
Okay, well,
it's important. Colon cancer, killing colon, prostate.
Yeah.
Men out there,
It's true.
don't be too man enough to not go get checked. Get it checked because that's what you pay your health care for.
yeah,
So
that's true. That's that's
and
fair
they
shit,
used
huh?
to be 50 and they dropped it to 45, guys. So it's important.
Yeah.
Go get
Not
checked.
just men, but
colon
and women,
screens.
because I think Sharon Osbourne, I think she had colon cancer. So it hit, I mean, obviously women aren't going to get their prostates checked, but colon cancer as well. So after that PSA, let's get into some news on the comic book side. We have a lot of like little hitters and maybe a discussion or two on one. Big news: The Flash began production like yesterday or a couple of days ago. So finally, we get that sometime in 2022. That movie's going to come out. Sean, our boy from Prison Break, Dominic Purcell, a.k.a. Mick Rory, a.k.a. Heatwave, is no longer on the Legends of Tomorrow TV show. I think from what I read online in the article, I think they kind of, took him out of a few episodes. He wasn't like a
worked his
more
way
recurring
out,
character, and he got pissed off. So he's no longer there. Miss Khaleesi, Amelia Clark, is reportedly from the intro. Here it is. She's reportedly joining the Secret Invasions series cast on Disney Plus. So for the MCU. So that's very exciting. I haven't seen her in much because she's been in a couple rom-coms, I think. But yeah, can't beat Khaleesi.
Good job, Marvel.
I don't
Very
think
impressive.
that they're going to beat Khaleesi in this Secret Invasion story, but we'll see. And Hulu greenlights a 10-episode sequel to Himium, a.k.a. How I Met Your Mother. I actually binge-watched that show from, like, the first till, like, the second to last season. And the only season I ever watched live, like, week to week, was the last season. So, amazing show, just classic one-liners. It was those one-liners that you can get from Seinfeld and Friends and The Office and stuff. It's up there with those shows. If you haven't watched it, please go watch it. And Carter Bays and Craig Thomas, who are the creators of How I Met Your Mother, they're actually on this one. They're returning to it. It's called How I Met Your Father, and it stars Hilary Duff. Hilary Duff from the Disney Channel fame. What, Lizzie
Man.
McGuire, right?
Yeah, it's been a while.
I know. And
Lizzie McGuire, Jesus.
I know, right? And then this is actually the piece of news that we can actually discuss a little bit, but Jonathan Kent is the new Superman. So July of 2021, Superman, Son of Kal-El, by Tom Taylor, he's replacing Superman. So as far as we're concerned, he's
They might be going a little too far
It's
on
gonna
that
be an
one.
old Superman. I don't know how I like that.
I don't know, because it's replacing the Superman title, so there won't be a Superman book anymore. Like Superman, Son of Kal-El is going to take over for that. So I'm pretty sure they'd already announced that he's going to be this new Superman. Clark is going to, give him the reins and stuff. That's a big deal for comic book writers. It might have been, some story you scroll down on, IGN, like it's no big deal, but for comic book readers, that's some big freaking news, boys.
I think that's like one of those things that, and not actually asking or I would ask in a negative way, but I actually would ask like the author, like, or writer or whoever, like why, like what makes you go into that direction? Like what would be your mind process to do that?
It's not just Tom Taylor. I mean, he probably had the idea for the story, or the DC, like the executives at DC had the idea in their back pocket, and now they're going ahead and pursuing it, and they just chose Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor's just getting paid to write the story, So whoever the creative director, I think Jim Lee or whatever, like you want to ask those guys, like why all of a sudden, since the mid to late 30s, he's the son of Krypton. Why all of a sudden 2021 for almost 100 years of Superman, and now you want to give it to Jonathan Kent? Like, it's crazy.
Like, there's gonna be no Superman books at all.
Yeah, no. Superman, like starring Clark Kent. No, this is now Superman, son of Kal-El. So Clark
Crazy.
Kent might still be in the book, but the book is going to be about him, giving him the reins and giving him the title of Superman. It's crazy, man.
How do you feel about it?
I don't like
fans. How do you feel about it?
Like the day that Dick Grayson or Damian takes over for Bruce, that might be the day that I hang him up.
That's for it for Mike. That's for it.
That's what I said. That's what I said earlier. They might have pushed that one a little too far, man.
I may hang up the cowl, man.
I mean, I was all for Infinite Frontier, but it's gonna be under the.
We even had our questions on that though, but actually was decent. I don't know about this.
It's gonna be under the Infinite Frontier moniker, right?
I
Mike?
assume so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully they do something where it's like kind of fun. Yay, ha ha ha, Jonathan Kent, and then some crisis, a new crisis, freaking happens, and then it goes back. I don't know what they're gonna do. I hope it doesn't last long.
I mean, I can get down with Bruce being broke now and not having all the
the gadgets. And
stuff. All the gadgets and all the assets that he had before and all the accessibility to all his tech and whatnot. I'm down with that, but to completely, hand the reins over to Robin, like you said, don't know if I'm down with that, man. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can go that far out, man. And there might never be no returning from that one, man.
I don't know. I will see. I mean, it's not until July. I'm guessing it was released in the DC Connect because that one comes out a week before previews. So if you guys go check out DC Connect number 11 or 12 this month, you could check it out, and I'm sure they'll have a synopsis of that story. But Sean, real quick, I know all of us will be watching Mortal Kombat this weekend. That one comes out. That looks gory as hell. My kids are not going to be in the room for that one but I can't wait to see it.
They actually released the first 7 minutes. I seen actually DJ Cook Beats. He actually played the little stream on his Instagram, and then I went on YouTube. And I mean, it's like openly they're showing it. It's not like someone hacked into it. I think they're kind of purposely just to tease it. And yeah, the kids won't be in the room for that one. First 2 minutes in, so it looks good though. Good action. I mean, I remember the old Mortal Kombat where Raiden, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and it was like a '90s movie, so to kind of have the technology they have now. It looks pretty badass. It'll be a good little movie. HBO Max at its finest.
Yeah,
man.
for sure. Mark, will you gonna watch it this weekend or sometime soon?
I might pull a little King Kong Godzilla. I'll end up watching it. Try to watch it maybe by the next time we record 110. To maybe try to give a little bit of a synopsis and my take on it if you guys are down. If you guys watch it within there. But no, definitely not rushing to go watch Mortal Kombat. But nonetheless, I did not watch the first 7 minutes. I did watch it about a month and a half ago when they first released the trailer and whatnot. Looks pretty dope. Obviously, get over here. It's something we grew up on. And it's something that I'm definitely going to tune into. And it does... if it's good for the podcast, it's good for me, baby. Because that's just more content for us.
Baby.
That's more content for us to discuss, to give our reaction on, and to bring the fans, a little bit more entertainment in their lives. Guys, I got one more thing before we send it over to sports. Mike, I see that look in your eyes. You're ready to do it now, but not before I tell you about Disney Plus and Sony coming to a licensing deal this Wednesday. Guys, have you heard? Did you guys hear the news today that Disney Plus, Marvel Cinematic Universe, and Sony Pictures Entertainment announced on Wednesday it will make Spider-Man films available to stream on Disney streaming services and TV channels? There's Mike giving the high five. This is going to open all types of doors to finally get Marvel to make maybe... No, let's not go that far yet. But, that's a whole nother discussion. We might have to save that for next week. Because I get it, Sony have the first rights, but you Marvel, baby. How could you not be able to make a damn movie of your own character? You Marvel, you Disney. I mean, I guess contracts are contracts. It can't be broken, but the agreement also allows Disney to eventually stream Sony movies released in theaters between 2022 and 2026. So how do you guys feel? Obviously, I know you guys feel good. It's crucial for Marvel fans. Spider-Man, Jumanji, a bunch of other movies are also going to be released on Disney Plus's platforms and TV
Content, baby.
channels.
Content. I love it.
Content. You can't get enough of
I mean,
it.
they're already a monopoly. Might as well just keep it going. Just give them everything.
I
The
I
rich
feel
get
like
richer.
I feel like you have to do it eventually, right? Like I just said, how could you be Marvel and not have the rights to this shit, right? Excuse my language, but I mean, geez,
obviously,
it's like
obviously Sony's holding on to the contract that they had way back in the day, pre 2008, pre this MCU, where it was just.
How could the contract 20 damn years? Jeez.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Spider-Man
Right.
1, 2, and 3, they've had it for so long, and they held on to it. That's why Venom wasn't a part of the MCU. They wanted to.
And Venom
they
is
wanted
going to
to
be
connect
another one.
that,
Actually, that's going to be released.
It is me another one too. Yep, I seen that.
Yes, sir. Venom is going to be available Disney Plus now. So,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
if you guys have not been following the market this week, Netflix had earnings. Their earnings were
pooped out.
horrible, tanked. Subscribers are not up to par, not as if it wasn't pandemic. I mean, but that's expected. Obviously people aren't at home. You're not, but man, this is the time for Sympathy Disney to come and kind of reap the rewards of, what a perfect timing. Right when Netflix just tanks on earnings and now Disney Plus releases this. I'm telling you guys, look for them
Timing is everything.
Look for those call
Whoever's-
options tomorrow morning at Market
Man,
Open, baby.
Whoever does that, the timing of that is just, man, that
just
guy earned his paycheck.
insider
That
trading.
man or woman earned their paycheck this week, I swear.
Hey, not as much as Mark Davis earned his check for sending out his tweet on the Oakland Raiders.
No shame there, buddy. But Sean, Falcon Winter Soldier, before we actually go to a quick break, Falcon Winter Soldier.
Can't stop. There's too much entertainment. We got to split these podcasts up pretty soon, man.
Yeah, I mean, so there you. Well, I mean, last couple weeks we didn't do any comic book talk. That's the reason why it's going into it.
That's
1
right.
hour is the first half of the podcast. But Sean, Falcon Winter Soldier, episode 5 was pretty good.
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus, we have another character.
You do.
Miss Elaine is a new character, so who knows how she's going to be played into this. I think I read in on Wikipedia that she was, I think, married or dating or whatever, Nick Fury. So kind of, she's in, she's involved in
Yeah,
the
a little
MCU.
jungle fever.
Exactly. So we'll see how she plays out. The season finale is this upcoming week, so we'll see how that goes. I think it's 6 or 7 episodes. I think either this week or next week is the season finale. And that leads into Loki, I believe, in June. So
Yes,
plenty to
sir.
talk about.
Which I
We'll get a
know.
little break from the Disney Plus TV shows or movies that they're releasing, but we have Loki and Black Widow and stuff to get
And
into.
why? This might be. We'll talk about this another day. But why the hell do we have Loki? I actually had that as a question from one of my buddies, and he was I think I sent you guys the screenshot one day. And he was like, right?
Oh, yeah,
he
he
was
told
like,
us
"You're the
that,
damn
yeah.
comic bookie." No one. He's like, "You tell me." I'm like, I really don't know, man.
Yeah.
Why? Because I thought he thought it was gonna be a. Is it a movie or is it a series?
Show.
It's a show.
It's a show,
series.
right? Yeah. So he thought it was vice versa. He thought it was gonna be a movie, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Marvel got the money to spend and more content, right?
You got Owen Wilson in it. Come on now.
Yeah.
Hashtag more content.
There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Comic Bookies podcast. We are only halfway done. We still have some sports to get into, but we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for tuning in to YouTube and Twitch. We will see you all in a quick segundo.
Enjoy the intermission or press that 30-second forward about 2, 3, 4 times, and you'll get back to us in a jiffy. Thank you, fans. Stay tuned. We're coming back.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Comic Bookies podcast, live recording of episode 109. Damn, 109 episodes. This is crazy. Please go and check out our Twitch and YouTube pages. Please subscribe and follow because, especially on the YouTube page, we have weekly videos of more content. You know, we're thinking of different problems that people may have, different issues, and we are going to give you your answers and your fix to these problems. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at The Comic Bookies. Email us, thecomicbookies@gmail.com, and listen to us literally wherever you listen to your podcasts. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, radio.com, and even on the Libsyn website. So please check us out. Fellas, like I told you, it's been a day, so this may not be good for me waking up tomorrow morning, but
I like it.
I mean,
there it is.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Sorry, Jonathan K.
So let's get into a little sports action, all right? So let's see. If I'm going to pick the order, let's just get into some NBA. So the regular season's is coming to an
I was hoping you said that.
It's coming to an end. And sorry. And now I'm just going to preface this for anyone listening to this podcast in New York, Ohio, Florida, Texas. The sports section is going to kind of be Bay Area centric because we've had, potential MVPs. We have a team who's on an 11-game winning streak, and we have a guy playing hockey who just broke Gordie Howe's record of actual games played. So excuse the Bay Area, biasness here. So Steph Curry, is he the MVP? Straight up. Is he the MVP? There's plenty of arguments with the stats. I saw that he's the first guy since 2016, which was himself, I'm sorry, Sean, you probably know, it's averaging 25, and then he's at least 50 from the field and 40 from threes, or is it like 90 from the free throw? I forgot what the three numbers
like the 50,
was.
40, 90, the 50, 40, 90.
Yeah.
50 from the field, 40 from the three, 90 from the free throw. It's
last time to do
small
it was
little
him
fees.
In 2016, summer 16.
And that's just one of many things, brother.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mute my burp right there. Jesus Christ. But yeah, do you guys think that Steph Curry is the MVP? I mean, I think we're out of a playoff spot. I saw the Warriors that were up, at the end of the third quarter, and I was like, dude, they're going to lose this game. Watch. I didn't even put the TV on, and all of a sudden, boom, we lose by 4 points. Dude, so we're not even making the playoffs, and if we don't, is Steph Curry, is there a chance that he still is?
Well, good road trip, so I think we definitely are still. Remember, too, they do the playing games
That's
now,
right.
too. So I think we have a chance of playoffs. Is Steph Curry the MVP? Really, really quick, I think you account, obviously, the individual success. You account, the team's win-loss. I mean, to a degree, it's getting to the playoffs. And you also got to account how important he is to the team. I think between those three things, there's no doubt he checks off the boxes on all of them. And I would say he is the MVP, but I don't think he's going to win it.
Yeah.
I think what he's done is beyond historic from a player at his size to go through the early injuries that he did to be where he's at now. I mean, he's, 32, about to be 33 by the season's end. He's 33 now, I think, actually.
Yeah, he's
so,
exactly our age, I think. 33 going to 34.
Yeah, 33 years old. Between
Speak for yourself.
Old man.
Between all the 10 3-pointer games, how you even think of doing that, the scoring records, the shooting percentages that we mentioned, I can easily say that there is no more important player to their team than Steph Curry. People can make an argument, but it ain't going to be that good. I think one of the only other players you could maybe say is like a Julius Randle with the New York Knicks, who are on an 8-game winning streak, who are in the fourth spot in the East, and I think he's a secret candidate who can possibly be for MVP. But
I mean, you're getting stats now that you're up to Ray Allen status. He can go 0 for the next 500 and still finish with a career 3-point percentage better than Ray Allen. He had 1 week where he had so many games of at least 10 threes that if his career was just that week, he would only be behind Klay Thompson for a number of 10 threes in a game, like the number of games with 10 threes. That is insane.
Well, you just said, I think, the best part of the whole argument, too, earlier to what you alluded in the percentages. I heard one guy says, well, all he does is shoot threes. Well, all he does is make threes, dumbass. Yeah. He's shooting 40% from the three.
Exactly, and he wins 3 rings doing it.
His 3-point percentage is better than some people's field goal percentage overall. So, I mean, it speaks for itself. This guy, he never fails to amaze me. I actually it's funny with Aaron, our listener,
He's actually commenting right now. He says, no doubt he's the MVP, best player in the league. That's what he's saying right now.
Yes, there's no doubt the way he's
best
playing right now.
Best player in the league. Hey, Ron, bringing it strong.
I think he's playing the best basketball in the league. Do I think he's like the best overall player? He's right there in the top 3, top 5, but playing the best. It's not even close right now. Because, what he's doing, again, is just this historic run is beyond craziness. I do got to say, for the season entirety, you can't forget about Joker. He's been unbelievable. You can't forget about Embiid. He did miss some games. He's been unbelievable also. But you know what, Curry, what he's done, man. You hear the Curry. You see what he's doing. You kind of say, oh, Joker had another triple-double. He had another good game. It's kind of just roll with the flow. I'm on the Nuggets. We're a freaking damn good team. But again, what Curry's doing, it is national news that this guy's doing. It isn't just like, it's just another record. Like, he is historically destroying people.
Yeah.
So, and it speaks for itself.
And he's doing it at the perfect time, It's like one of those college football teams that they lose their first game of the season to the non-conference team, and they still make the playoff or the national championship because they go on a run, or it's like the SEC where Auburn loses to, Penn State or whatever week 1, but then they go undefeated in the SEC, they win the SEC championship, and they're in the finals, or back before the playoffs, they are the AP national champion. It's kind of one of those seasons where the voters are going to look at, oh my God, look what he's done. And he's doing it in a stretch to bring his team to the playoffs. He's the most important player to his team, hands down. So,
well, I think the last thing we can add to that before I know Mark, of course, supports Curry as we all are. When you look at
you saw me wearing his jersey in Miami.
Hey,
and
bro,
they didn't like that out there.
I know what time it is, but I think one of the biggest things I think people sleep on, and I know most people don't even look at, and I actually just seen this stat earlier today randomly. Funny we're talking about it. Every MVP candidate that they're talking about right now, the Dames, the Embiids, the Jokers, and now Curry is the only one outside of the top 40 in terms of minutes. All those other guys are top 10, top 15, top 20 in terms of most minutes played. Wow. So to see what Curry's doing, and he's only playing, I think, about 33 minutes a game, which I think is ranked 48th in the league. Come on now. What superstar plays, And people think oh, really? That's a big deal? Of course. You want to put Curry in the game for 40 minutes? What the hell is he going to do? He's second in the NBA, averaging 33 points a game. Come on now.
Damn, that's crazy.
And today, I don't even know if he had over 20. They did go.
He had 22 or something. He had a kind of a bad game, but then again,
sucks.
I got a couple more stats for you on Curry before I want to get into these play-in games that the NBA has gone on with. But dude, Curry, guys, to go on with Curry for another couple minutes real quick. Sorry for the haters out there. If you guys recognize a kid,
I ain't sorry. Let him hate.
If you guys recognize a kid from North Carolina that came in and changed the game from Davidson, I'll tell you guys the truth. I was the biggest. I'm a Raider fan. Diehard. This guy across the screen from me here, even a bigger diehard. There it is, Woodson, my favorite player, right? Ricky Henderson, Charles Woodson. I got some favorite players from my favorite teams, but the Raiders, they've done what they've done, but Curry, dude, coming over to the Bay and really, cementing a legacy, because what this team has put forward, I don't know what Joe Lacob, what Peter Guber, what Chamath Palihapitiya, and these guys that own this damn team have done, but these guys seem to want to stay true. KD, he came here. We kind of know what he came here to do. But the fact that Curry has really stayed kind of true to the Bay Area, going from Oakland to San Francisco, the trials, the tribulations. This dude, you see him on his social life with Aisha, 3 kids, Riley, shout out Riley, 2015 when you guys won the championship up on stage. We had a 7-year run that was so great, guys. I don't know what the future holds for us Warriors fans going forward. You guys mentioned 33 years old, and at 33 years old, he had 5 40-point games so far in April, guys. He passes Kobe and Jordan for the most 40-point games from a player 40 years or older in a calendar month. So, I mean, this guy, what he's doing is pretty much legendary this year. It sucks. It sucks that we can't have Clay this year alongside this guy, not just for the points and the, on the court that we're going to be getting and the pressure off of Curry, just for, the splash brotherhood of it. We know Curry makes him a better player. Clay makes him a better player. And we got to wait, because by the time this team is really gelling again, Curry's probably going to be 35. Let's not get it twisted, guys. 35 years old. LeBron, one of the longest, LeBron, Jordan, not too many guys are built to go after 36, 37, man. And at 35, Curry, but I mean, if he's balling at 33, is he going to be able to keep doing this? I mean, I sure hope so. Build around him. Wiseman comes back, but man, it's just crazy. 11-game, 30-point game, 30-point streak in 11 games. It ends Kobe Bryant's 2012 record that held at 10 games of 30-plus points. I mean, this guy is just he's on rails. He's on skates right now, like we like to say in the NASCAR world, guys. But man, it's legendary. He's not getting the clout this season because we're not first. When it comes to the Warriors, guys, Curry changed the league, man. Like it or not, these kids, you see college, we love the March Madness. I mean, Curry changed the game, guys, and like it or love it, it is what it is. But if we're not in first, if we're not trying to compete for the Bulls 72-10, 73-9, but lose the championship, whatever. I don't give a damn. This team is historic. The Warriors are going to go down in history, and not just because of Curry. They have their history before Curry. They have the Wilts. They have the Sleepy Floyds. They have the Mitches, Tim Hardaways,
Run
and
TMC.
You know what I mean? It's just they got, this team's got history. They just sucked for so many years. Curry, Clay brought them back to glory with Draymond. And hey, I know we're kind of going off on the Warriors right now, but throw some respect. Okay. Throw some respect on Curry's name, baby.
You guys are the Oakland fans here, so it's crazy how much history there really is with those A's teams, those Raiders teams, and like how much that short span of damn Warriors. Would you almost say right now, like the Curry, especially the Curry and easy first ballot Hall of Famer, and just like those great Warrior teams might be like the shining star of all the Oakland history there is, despite like how not short-lived, but like how short of a span it was. It's true. Mm-hmm. The A's had 3 in a row, those great teams, Bash Brothers, the Raiders, we all know how good they have, 3 Super Bowls, all these Hall of Famers. But would you almost say right now the Warriors, it was only like a 5-year span, but
I think they'd go up against some. Well, are you talking about Bay Area or Oakland? Because Bay Area, you have some
Oakland. Oh, you still got obviously across the Bay with the Niners and like their legacy dynasty. But I put the Warriors against anybody. I think at this point in the Bay
because unfortunately the A's in the 70s ran into the free agency and that's starting. So a couple guys left. Reggie Jackson, Catfish Hunter. They all left. So unfortunately you had that. But no, I would totally agree with you. And Aaron says right here, it says, when KD came over, we were robbed of watching this level of Curry for 3 years.
100%.
And that's a good point, too. So he came by, and but then again, yes, exactly. You sacrifice that, and you get 2 championships out of it. So I would definitely sacrifice that. But no, that's definitely true. First ballot Hall of Famer. He's an all Bay Area athlete, up there with Ricky and Joe Montana, Jerry Rice,
Crazy.
Easy.
I think that, though, really, this kid, who really wanted him from Davidson? Like, you could say easily, yeah,
I was so happy when they got him. Dude, can you remember who they passed up on? You got, pull it up.
Yeah, Johnny Flynn, Ricky,
Johnny Flynn, thank you, Syracuse.
I know.
That's right.
I know
and
that,
Ricky
bro.
Rubio. They had back to picks.
Yeah.
Pull it up, Mike. Well, Mike's going to be pulling it up. I'm going to be giving you guys another stat right here. Curry behind the 3-point arc, shot type. So for between 2013, since 2013, 14, I'm seeing here, The second, since since the opening of the 2013 year until now, Curry's 3-point type shot selection via Second Spectrum Sports, I believe, is the source I'm seeing here.
Into it now.
Right here, baby. Look, the pull up 3. So the first number, pull up 3. He ranks first in makes and first in percentage. Step back, third in make and first in percentage. Catch and shoot, second in rank, third in percentage. Over screens, second in rank, fourth in percentage. Contested, second in rank, fifth in percentage. Uncontested, first in rank, first in percentage. After 5 dribbles, third. I can't believe they even get this. After 5 dribbles, third in first percentage. From 30 to 40 feet, he's got the number 1 percentage, but the third ranked. And in clutch time, he's got the first percentage, fourth ranked, though. Minimum 150 attempts. So in percentage-wise, he's pretty much first on every single category besides catch and shoot, over screens, or contested. And that's because the defense is on him, man.
Yeah. So I have those first 6 picks.
MVP. MVP.
I have those first 6 picks of the 2009 NBA draft. You have Blake Griffin going to the Clippers, overall number 1. Hasheem Thabeet to Memphis.
From UConn, he was a bust.
James Harden to the Thunder. Tyreek Evans to the Kings. And then you have back-to-back to the Timberwolves. They traded to Washington to move up to number 5 to take Ricky Rubio, and then took another point guard and Johnny Flynn. And then Steph Curry was 7th overall to the Warriors, and then a couple to round at the top 10, Jordan Hill to the Knicks, DeMar DeRozan to the Raptors, and Brandon Jennings to the Bucks.
And the thing is, like, a lot of those picks weren't necessarily wrong at the time. It's just our guy ended up better than your guy.
A lot better.
And Brooklyn Nets are currently a 2.5 favorite to win over the 3-1 Los Angeles Lakers. I'm giving you guys a couple numbers here since we haven't ran through them in a couple weeks. Brooklyn Nets 2.5 to 1. Los Angeles Lakers 3 to 1. This is to win the championship this year's. LA Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard sitting out tonight at 5 to 1. Utah Jazz 8 to 1. The Bucks are 9.5 to 1. I think they're done. 76ers at 11 to 1. Now we're getting into a little bit of value here, guys. Nuggets 33 to 1. I'm sure they took a hit after the ACL from Jamal, but guys.
Lakers Nets. That's what we all want to see.
Lakers Nets.
That's not even a question.
LeBron. In play games, I am not aware. So the 9 plays the 10 to see who plays, and how does that work, guys? I wanted to talk to you about that, guys, real quick. So I see 1 through 10, 9 play the 10, and then how does that work from there? Do you guys know how the style is going to go for the playoffs this year? Because obviously it's not just 1 through 8. There's that play in
once. I think like 8 plays 10 or 11. 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. I think like 7 and 8
I
have
got
to
you.
lose twice.
Yeah, you're right. That's what it is. Yeah. Thank you, Sean. That's what it is. 7 plays 10, 8 plays 9. Right now, Golden State would be playing Memphis. Mavs will be playing San Antonio.
That's one
in
game.
The West. And it's one. I believe it is. Is it one game, Sean?
I believe it's one game, or I think the 7 and 8 need to lose twice or something. I got explained once. I actually think it was Aaron who explained it to me.
Aaron, let us know if we got bigger NBA fans out there.
Yeah, he says 7 plays the 8. 7 plays the 8. Winner gets in. I don't know.
But then we got 9 and 10.
9 and 10.
Miami.
So 7 plays 8, winner gets in. 9 plays 10, winner plays loser of 7 and 8. Okay.
Jesus.
Loser. Oh yeah. So it's like a double. Oh, that's stupid.
Double elimination for 7-8. That's kind of bummy, but whatever.
10 teams. Give them a freaking
4-team round run.
How many games? Does Aaron know how many games? Let us know.
It looks like he says 7 plays the 8, winner gets in. It looks like it's just one game.
One game.
But the 10-9 seeded will win 2 games to get in. Then
just make them all make the playoffs. They have to get ratings somehow. They suck.
And this is why it's so important to get the fans on it. Thank you, Aaron, for that up-to-date information. I mean, he delivered that really fast.
I'm going to guarantee it right now. Put it on the board. Nets are not going to the NBA Finals. They're gonna
Why?
because they've only played 7
Knicks?
games total as a core 3. Now, yes, they're professionals. They should be able to mesh together. No,
Look at
Oh,
Sean.
man,
Sean.
they're going in. They're going in
Sean knows the
hurt or whatever.
playoffs is a different
The
story.
Nets are not making the NBA Finals.
man, that's a tough one, man.
I don't know about the NBA yet. That's why he don't
I
know.
just think at the end of the day with basketball, I mean, we've always said it.
There it is. Say it.
5-man sport without the bench, like on the court. I mean, there's a point where talent just takes over, and I just don't. This year, I don't see there's that one team in the East. Like last year, I was riding Miami at the end of the season. They got to the finals.
Miami ain't the same Miami, baby.
They're
in
not the same
playoffs.
Miami. I mean, they're not even. They're freaking in a playing game
They're-
right
they're-
now.
They're playing the Hornets right now to try to play the Pacers or the weak
The
ass.
hottest team in the NBA is actually the number 4 team, which we just talked about, the New York Knicks at 32
My
and
guy
27.
Randall.
And it's like at the end of the day, they
Just
for
an
sure ain't gonna
ACL.
beat them in a series. The only team that might beat them is maybe Milwaukee, just because of Giannis. They have
Yeah, Philly.
Middleton. Philly. The thing about Philly though is they have to stay healthy, but I just don't know how they're gonna beat them with a Ben Simmons who can't shoot. I've never been a fan of that.
Well, go ahead on the
So
other
it's-
side. You have James Harden, who literally disappears in the playoffs too. So he has yet to prove to me
But
that he
he's with a
can.
If
different
I got
class.
Kyrie and KD, and I don't
he's
even
on
need to
bro-
be the thriving offensive player anymore, I just got to dish the ball out. I'm gonna get a
on-
whole bunch of open shots. I mean, I
He's
do
on
get your
Broadway
argument.
He's
now,
not that type of
baby.
player, though. He's very
He's
selfish.
on Broadway now, baby. He's on Broadway now, bro. He's with a whole nother supporting cast. He doesn't
That's
feel like he has to
hard
do
one.
everything. He's got Kyrie. He got KD with 2 rings under his belt, 2 MVPs, finals.
You
Come
know
on.
what?
They're healthy. That's the only
Finals.
they
2
don't get in.
MVP
Let's just say that.
finals. Finals.
It's
my
it's
only
more
thing.
me like
If
hoping
they're
that
not
there's
healthy,
parity.
If they're not healthy, they don't get in. But if they play in the playoff games, the big 3, they will make the finals. I think that's the.
I'm kind of rolling with Sean on that one, in my opinion. I don't see Milwaukee defeating them. They've had their woes. I think Milwaukee is an Eastern version of the Houston Rockets when the Warriors were beating up on Harden back, a couple years ago. That's my position on the Bucks. I think that, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that the Celtics, they're kind of in the same position also, losing more players, Gordon Hayward to the play-in Charlotte Hornets at 8. I mean,
And LaMelo's coming back. You better watch out
LaMelo
for that,
will
man.
be healthy
Ew.
for the playoffs. I mean, I just think that Sean, excuse me. I think that Sean might be onto a little bit of steam here in the 4th position because 76ers, Bucks, I think that they're both in the same position. They got to get over that hump to prove something to myself, Comic Bookie Sean, and hopefully Comic Bookie Mike on this podcast, baby, because I don't know, man, but I'm looking here and I'm looking at the odds and I'm looking at the Bucks at almost 10-1. And if you can give me, if I can get a little bit more value, Celtics, 50-1. That's kind of telltale right there, but 50-1, I don't know, man. So the Knicks, oh God. Oh my God, Sean. Just Sean, go look at the odds on the Knicks, Sean.
This didn't take too long for me to look for it. You just say it right
Just
now.
say it.
Oh, it's probably atrocious. It probably is because they
300-1. How? They're 4th in the East.
because they're not a championship team, though. That's the thing. I will say that right now. Like I would bet my life savings they're not going to win the finals. There's certain things in life that are guaranteed. Taxes,
Death and taxes.
death,
What
and the
about-
Knicks not winning the championship. That ain't going to happen right now.
2015 Leicester wasn't a guarantee. Get out of here, bro.
But the
This is
thing
why
is
we
that
live.
they at least were in
This is
first
why we
place and
live.
maintained it for a while. The Knicks have not even touched first place this season. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yes,
No.
yes, that's right.
All right.
see though,
But-
fun NBA talk. That's fun.
All right. So let's move on. So real quick in the NHL, nothing really to write home about the actual Sharks team. But Patrick Marlow, 2nd overall pick in 1997. He has passed Gordie Howe for most games played all time. Now, like I was texting you guys earlier, like earlier in the week, hockey players have always been tough sons of bitches, right? But we're still in an era where you see in the NBA, they get a freaking splinter, or they bite their tongue eating a freaking sandwich, they're going to miss a few games, right? So you have guys, but the NHL, they still play even if they get some teeth knocked out. But still, in this day and age, it's still crazy to see someone like Patrick Marlow, who's like, some are going to argue that he's in the Hall of Great, but is he a Hall of Famer, right? Does he have enough numbers? But just the longevity. He passed Gordie Howe. Like, if you pass Gordie Howe in something, like, that should be an automatic, like, lock into the Hall of Fame. He might not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's going to get there eventually. What an amazing career,
bro. Yeah, I mean, I remember freaking watching him as a young kid, and it's like, okay, that guy retired. No, he's still playing. What the heck? And he was just that guy, man. That was the Flash on the freaking ice. That guy was super fast, and he still can skate.
Right, like him and Marco Sturm were just flying all over the place,
bro. The pass to Gordie Howe, I think Mike said it best. You literally passed the great one, obviously not Wayne Gretzky, but another one of the great ones.
Before Gretzky, records. Yeah.
Exactly, and it might be games played, but remember, this is games played, a.k.a. hockey, a.k.a. I'm wearing all this gear, playing game in, game out. I was drafted in the same draft as Joe Thornton back in, you know what I mean? It's just, this is something I know it touches Mike and I, because we've been huge Sharks fans.
There's a reason why I got my Sharks jersey like 5 or 6 years ago only, and there was no question. I'm getting a number 12 Marlow with the C on it. Like, he's my captain. He's been my favorite player since I've been watching the Sharks. Since their inception in 1991. Come on, now he got drafted in the 6th year of just them being a team, and he's been the face of the franchise. From what school? Oh God, school. He's Canadian, so right.
It was from I don't know if it was from a school.
He's from the same area that
team, but they actually said in that video that I sent you guys. It said the Seattle something. So I don't know if it was like a transition, maybe I don't know if it was like a
Well, they have like academies. Like, you know how in Europe they have like soccer academies to where like you go to school and then your off time you're playing soccer. They have that shit in Canada. And he's not John.
I wonder why they're so damn freaking.
Well, he's
good.
not. He's not. Jonathan Chichu, who's from Moose Factory, Ontario. I would never forget that Jonathan Chichu is from Moose Factory, Ontario. But
talk about fall off.
I know, but I mean, dude, Patrick Marlow. What more can I say? Just a stand-up guy. He was never the guy that you really hated in everything. But also, I'm going to say this for the people who are like on the side of he was in the Hall of Great. He was never that guy who was like the guy. We had Joe Thornton. We had a bunch of different players now with Pavelski and then Couture and stuff. He was always that second guy, but you could always count on him to contribute something to the game. Loved him, and it's going to be, I actually stood up. Like, after the game last night, the Sharks, they lost in a shootout to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. After the game, they're hitting their sticks on the ice, both teams. He shook every one of the Golden Knights' hands as well. Like, they showed respect. The fans weren't booing. They were cheering for him because it was in Vegas. And I actually stood up, and I gave like a little golf clap. It's like, dude, I've been watching this guy since 1997 for almost 25 years. And, I assume that after this season he's gone. But, yeah, it was just a great moment for me as a fan,
Yeah,
sad, man.
It's crazy, dude. 1,007. I don't know if you guys threw the number out there. 1,768, breaking Gordie Howe's record. Guys, I got another stat for you right here, but this is crazy. Patrick Marlow. There have been 5 players that have played in a game with Patrick Marlow and Gordie Howe. Can you guys name at least 2 of those players?
With Gordie Howe and Patrick Marlow?
So we got to think of their early Sharks team. It has to be the early Sharks days. The people that played on multi-teams. So
Gordie Howe probably lost all of his damn hair. Looks like he was on the Whalers team back here.
What was Gordie Howe's last team that he played on? Give us a hint.
We don't know. I don't know if he has that. Is Wayne Gretzky one of them or no?
Yes, sir. Okay. There's two that you guys.
I was gonna say Ray Bork.
Chance. There's 2 that you guys have a chance, and there's probably 3 that you guys don't have a chance at. Wayne Gretzky, Mike, you've already got one of them.
Ray Bork.
The other one, Double M. If that gives you guys any
Mark
chance
Messier?
of
Mark Messier, New York Rangers. Yeah.
What about
Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky. The last three, I'm going to save some time on this podcast. Kevin Lowe,
Okay.
Mike Gartner, and Ray Bork.
Yeah, Bork. We did say that. We said Ray Bork.
From the Avalanche.
Yeah, we did say it.
Ray Bork. Oh, yeah. Ray Bork, defenseman.
Damn, you guys
Avalanche.
are 3 for 5, baby. That's winning right there. Let's go.
Me and Michael stumped the Schwab, baby.
Hell yeah.
So what you guys do not know, and this is the biggest thing about this tidbit right here, all these 5 players that have played against Gordie Howe and Patrick Marlow, guess what they all
Hall
are?
of Famers.
Defense.
HOFers, baby. Yes, sir.
Nice.
So I think we got a pretty good chance of our guy from Saskatchewan making into the HOF or the Hall of Fame, into hockey. Man, it's crazy. Mike, I know how close you are to him. I'm more of a Logan Couture guy myself because it's more about the era that you kind of get into, that you kind of start feeling the sport more,
True.
right? But hey, nonetheless, hey, he's a shark in and out. So
Congrats,
thank
Patty.
you,
Awesome,
Patty.
Man.
Thank you for coming back and finishing it off with after the Maple Leafs and yourself couldn't deliver another title to
Want to
Canada,
go ahead and say that Twitch Co Cowboy is in the chat right now, giving us a little thumbs up, little meme there. So
there he is, Twitch Co Cowboy, my guy.
Thank you so much for joining the chat. Thank you so much for watching. We have 2 more sports to get into this week. Let's get into Talladega week. So we weren't, unfortunately, the only sport we weren't able to get into last week was the Richmond race at NASCAR. And it was something to be desired, actually, last week. It was kind of a boring race, kind of an interesting last 10 or 11 laps with Alex Bowman taking it over Denny Hamlin. And it was funny. What was that tweet, Mark? It's like, it rhymes with duck. He was just like, F, dude. Like, he was like just destined to win that race, and he still is winless. You know, you have Kyle Busch still winless, Denny Hamlin still winless. You have Brad Keselowski still winless. I actually thought Joey Logano had it. You know, Chase Elliott still winless. So
only Hendrick driver,
right? And then we also said that it was cool that the 48, Jimmy Johnson's car last year and for years past, they get a win on the same day that he starts his IndyCar career. So that was pretty cool. So going forward, what do you guys see this week in Talladega? I can tell you this much: as far as qualifying, as far as finishing the race, unless he can do something different in a Hendrick Motorsports car, I do not see the number 5 doing jack shit this week, because he does not race well on these restrictor plate super speedway in Talladega.
What about Brad Keselowski, though? He won the iRacing today on
he
Fox,
did? Did he end up
Sports
winning it?
1.
Nice.
Keselowski got the checkers
Nice.
on the virtual iRacing.
Awesome.
Did you see,
Dude,
your boy went
the
flying
truth,
though. Logano went flying. That was hell if I saw him.
it's actually crazy to me, because I'll be completely honest with you guys. You guys see these iRacers, right? Me and you guys know, Sean. We're gonna have a guy. I don't want to spoil it, but we're gonna have a guy that's pretty good at this stuff coming
Next
up
week, baby.
pretty soon here on the podcast. Mike, you racing, whatever it is, streaming video game. We know how close these video games are coming to being realistic, but guys, iRacing, it's even more realistic. All these athletes, NASCAR drivers, they take this seriously because, obviously, from what they say, it's realistic as hell. Don't take my word for it, but I thought for sure there was going to be a crash coming to the white, coming to the checkers. And, dude, they're on virtual racing, and they're holding the line, like, perfectly, and you don't see anybody. It's almost like the real damn thing, dude. It's crazy. It's
Not when we play.
But not when we
No.
play. Thank you, Sean. You're coming to my point. Because when we play, we're like, these guys, they're taking this
yourself.
damn iRacing. I don't know if they're getting paid. I don't know what's going on. But for a big guy, we've had Byron win. We've had Keselowski win. We've had Timmy Hill win, which isn't a big name. But I don't know if these guys are getting paid much to this iRacing. But it seems like with the whole Fortnite, with the whole video game aspect that we've been talking about, Twitch streaming and everybody, the whole how big the video game business is at the moment. There could be a couple bucks, for these iRacing aficionados coming up here in the future, man. You guys' thoughts, Sean? Any opinions,
hey,
Mike?
first of all, speak for yourself on, not being able to know what to do. I have 3 career wins at Talladega Motor Speedway, so
My bad.
dude, speak for yourself.
So, but it's completely different when you use.
No, I know. Of course,
using the controller, right?
I'm using the
buttons.
sticks. Yes, of course. I know you have the whole setup. Yeah.
Get the rig, get the real steering wheel, get the vibration in the steering wheel, get the real, you get the real the toe and the camber and the wheel, and it's crazy, bro. I'm telling you, like it's real life stuff, but nonetheless, we got the Geico 500 at Talladega. Let me see here if I can pull up some odds real quick.
There's actually a racer I wanted to see his odds for Mark, Mr. Ricky Bobby.
Mr. Ricky Bobby. Hey, you know what? I like either a Ford or a Toyota this week. They usually do really well. Like Penske drivers race really well on these restrictor plate races.
Look at Mike. Look at Mike. Hold on, Mike. I like a Ford or a Toyota, and the top 2 favorites are Hamlin, a 6.5 to 1, or a Logano at a 9 to 1 in a Ford or a Toyota. So there it is.
Very impressive, Miguel. I like that, sir.
Blaney's next and 10 to 1. Keselowski 11 to 1. Your guy tied with Keselowski at Chase Elliott. Sean 11 to 1. Kurt Busch 15 to 1. Double A, man. Look at Double A with his first top 10 race finish. I'm sorry. Double A has his first top 10 finish.
He's got to win
the season.
He's got to win. He's got to win there the last 6 races. Yeah, so I mean, he wins that.
He does have a win there. Yep, correct.
But how ugly is it for Larson? 22 to 1. I don't like that. I actually see that as value, guys. 22 to 1 for Larson. Do. I mean, yeah. Thank you. You getting over 20 and on a guy that he's not prone to winning these super speedway races, but he's in the equipment that can definitely do
everything. Everything gets thrown out the window.
When you got the mindset, and you got the equipment, I'm staying away from that. You know what I mean? Unless I can get him on some plus money on head-to-head matchups, but I'll definitely be looking at him at 22 to 1 for the win, man. But I'd like to see him on some plus. If he's 22 to 1 for the win, I'm telling you right now, comic bookie fans, you can find him on a couple plus matchups for, just head to head. So look out for those, all your local booking shops, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. It's funny that you listed all these different drivers who are, odds for this, odds for that. Chase has a win in the last 6 races. Blaney's got 2 wins in the last, 6 races. Of course, Double A Battery's got the 1 win. Logano and Hamlin each have a win. So yeah, I mean, all these guys that are set to win this race, as far as the odds are concerned, they do have success, at least in the, more recent past, as, the last 3 seasons.
And we have 9 winners, I believe, so far. No, 8 winners out of 9 races, if I'm not mistaken. 8 out of 9. And, dude, here we go. Talladega, another wild card race. So I could see you could see a Reddick winning. You could see a Chase winning this week. You can see a Keselowski that just won iRacing.
That's long. Right? That's the super speedway racing, bro. It's like, I mean, we can talk about.
You could have 9 out of 10 races.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and then honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens, because we can throw all these stats out there, and not one current driver career has a top 10 finish, an average top 10 finish. Ryan Preece in 4 career races has an average finish of 11.5. Actually,
right.
Over the last 6 races, John Hunter Nemechek has an average finish of 8th in 2 races. So it's crazy how, like, no one, like, you can either have a DNF or a low finish of 37, or you can win. In the recent past. So it's crazy. I would stay away from it as far as money, as far as betting's concerned, but it's always a fun race to watch, these super speedways. with Daytona and Talladega.
And one thing I always look at too with the racers is laps led. I've always liked that, because you like to see how long they can not just, I led a lap. How long can they actually maintain that? And there's a lot of racers in that 200, J-Lo. 300 range. And I was just going to bring that up. And the racer with the most laps led that is active is 397 laps from Joey Logano, with 3 career wins. So, I mean, the way Joey's racing, he should have a couple wins already this season. And I think this could be another opportunity for him to get a win easily. We see Keslow has 5 historic wins over there. Chase desperately needs a win. But what Mike said, I mean, there's not one racer with an average finish within the top 10. So it could be just a toss-up. Anyone can win this race.
And it's funny that you say that, actually, because the one race that Joey Logano did win would probably be the first race that I wouldn't have bet on him on the season. That's the dirt track. We all know we were going for Bell. We were going for Larson. We were going for even Truex, who won the truck race earlier in the day, right? But I don't know, man. I think that this season... So who would you say are the best running people right now? I would say Logano and Keselowski. Logano and Hamlin right now are doing pretty good.
Yeah, Hamlin's got the most points without a win. Yeah.
So he's Hamlin 100%. Logano's up there every week, and I would have to say probably Larson as well. And if you can
Truex.
And Truex.
It's been good
exactly.
Too, yeah.
Thank you. You took it out of my mouth. You Truex with the 2 wins.
He sucks here though.
Because you're not getting it from Busch in the 18. You're not getting it from Keselowski right now in the 2. Stewart Haas Racing is abysmal right now. You're not getting nothing from Mr. 9 wins in 2020. That's not turning over to nothing in 2021 with Harvick. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Right now, what I'm trying to say is that we got Harvick not performing. Stewart Haas is at a low. We got Hen performing. 3 of their drivers have wins. I can't believe that Chase does not. So I'll put Chase in there to try to get a win. And I'll put Keselowski in there that just won the iRacing. But you can't, and I got Hamlin in there as well because that guy is so good at super speedways. But nonetheless, don't count out Logano. But I think we're gonna get how many winners do you think we guys got this year, man? I say 12.
Double digits.
12,
10 at
13.
Least.
It's at least 12, 13. There's not going to be no more than 3 guys fighting for a playing spot in this
True.
Going down to the championships right now.
I mean, we're going to see someone like Hamlin or Keselowski be one of those last guys in because just based off of points, if they don't get a win, like, could you honestly see someone like having 13 or 14 cars get in based off of wins, and then having Kyle Busch not even make the playoffs because he's just outside of the top 16, It's going to be crazy.
Right.
That's the
way it goes, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? This season, for all our fans that are tuning in right now, this season is crazy because I'll tell you what. These teams, I'll tell you right now, I believe Roger Penske, I believe Rick Hendrick, I believe Joe Gibbs. I believe a lot of these teams are kind of looking towards the future. We got a new generation car coming out. Obviously, pit stops are going to be different. The biggest thing, in my opinion, so far right now are the rims are going to be changed from these 15-inch little alloys to these 18-inch, kind of more like what you see on the sports cars, which is the one lug nut, like on Indy and these sport car racing. It's going to be like a 6 to 8 second pit stop, I'd say, compared to the 11 to 12 we're getting right now. So it's going to be crazy. And, I'm excited to see. I'm not excited to see if the sport is going to go more electric, more hybrid wise for the engines, because, I stay true and true to my heart when you have the V8s and whatnot. But I'm all for growth. I'm all for, I don't know, man. I'm really, really stuck between we go to the track. You're going to Vegas. We've been to Sonoma. I've been to Fontana. I've been to Vegas. I've been to a couple tracks. If you can't hear the cars, if you can't smell the gas, if you can't feel that roar, in your soul, in the seats, vibrating through those bleachers. It's just, it's not the same. It ain't worth it. Thank you, Sean. It ain't worth it. You guys can't charge as much for my ticket if I can't feel those feelings in my heart. That's what got me to love these damn. I just hope that NASCAR makes the right decisions. I'll leave it at that, Mike.
All right, so Mark's giving his pick. Sean, who's your pick for this weekend?
Desperate writing this year because he needs a win. This week's going to be big for Chase. He definitely needs a win, but if it isn't Chase, I actually think Logano might take it. Logano historically has been good. He's had a great season, so let's hope for Chase. It might be Logo.
I'm going to go ahead and go with, of course I'm not getting value here, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Hamlin because he's been racing so well all season long. He's dying to get a finish. He's had some success recently, so it's not going to be one of those things where, Kyle Busch is destined to win, soon. No, I think Hamlin's going to finally get the win this week and go 9 different drivers in 10 races, but also Larson, not really liking the 22-1 as far as to win the race, but please give me, something like a top 10 odds. I would put some money on Larson actually racing pretty well as long as he doesn't get caught in any big ones or the big one. I see him finishing in the top 10. So there you have it. So enjoy the race this Sunday, I think morning over on the Pacific Standard Time, like 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. So enjoy that race. And finally, to end the podcast, the last topic is the rise and fall of the Super League. So pretty crazy. We were going back and forth. Mark, we even involved my brothers. Like, what the hell is going on here? So,
where's our footy fans?
So any football fans can go ahead and chime in here. What the hell is going on, dude? So they want to make this league where it's 6 teams from England, a handful of teams from Spain and Italy, and they want to make this league. So what I was gathering from it was they wanted to make it like a different Champions League where it was the, quote, you can't sit with us league. Like every single year, no matter what, we're going to have like this separate cup of just these 12 teams. No matter if they suck or if they're really good, we're going to have this. And all of a sudden you had UEFA pissed off. You had leagues saying, they're kicked out of the EPL. If you're a singular player playing, like Marcus Rashford playing for Manchester United in the Super League, you will not be able to play for Team England in the World Cup or in any kind of FIFA sanctioned like anything else. It was crazy. And sure enough, I think Chelsea was the first team to drop out. Finally, England drops out. And then sure enough, it's within 2 or 3 days, it's now kaput. So what was your guys' first reaction when the breaking news happened on, I think, Saturday or Sunday morning?
Well, before I heard the details, I actually liked it. Just another
more
cup
games.
with more games with the kind of the premier teams, which everyone likes. So then you start getting the details that kind of let's get away from the Champions League. This is going to be our own cup. And you start getting into all the fine detail of, damn, UEFA's not happy. Yeah. These guys are not going to be able to play in a UEFA sanctioned game. So I'm not going to see a Ronaldo and freaking Team Portugal. Oh, hell no. This thing, This is the worst idea ever. And then you fast forward, all these teams drop out, and now we're down to a Clásico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona week in and week out. But there's a couple of things I think I don't really know what's considered. So say one of these teams falls from glory and gets relegated. Are you going to have a relegated team in this cup going forward? Tottenham, Chelsea, hell, God forbids in 5 years just freaking shits the bed and gets relegated. So I just think there was a lot of flaws, a lot of things in this tournament that just it was what Mike said. It had a little bit of that just you guys can't sit at our table. This is a select group only.
Obviously, it had more to do with history, mystique, and money rather than actually currently an actual good team or not. Because isn't Barcelona not even in the contention for the Spanish league?
Well, no, they're up there right now. They actually came back and they've made a little roll. I think Real Madrid, Atletico are up there on top. They're all within about 3 to 5 games of each other. I just think it's one of those things where it just turned into a money thing. It always does. And you've seen that outrage from the fans. And it's one of those things that you can see how passionate soccer is to the fans of Europe as a whole. And you've seen, I can't think what position he had. I think the chairman of Man U, he resigned.
Yeah, that's right.
And a whole bunch of different people are getting fired, resigning, kind of getting caught with their foot in their mouth. The one thing though is the recent statement from the president. I can't think what his name is from Real Madrid, who basically orchestrated this whole crap. Is he says that he actually has a signed contract from all these teams that they are, going to be involved with their own separate league or tournament. So he's like, don't worry, I'm gonna be taking legal actions against all your asses.
Damn, that's crazy.
Y'all was cool with it. Y'all was cool with it in the beginning, but once everybody started coming after you guys, y'all started backpedaling.
Yeah, I mean, one of the craziest things, even before I started reading any articles, I just see these pictures on Instagram saying that these fans had these signs. It says, like, created by the poor and taken by the rich. And that's what we've been saying even before I became a soccer fan. Like, I knew it was like the world sport because, honestly, like, no offense, it's a poor man's sport. Like, any country, a third world, in South America, in Africa, Asia, in Europe or whatever, you get 2 rocks. You put in one right here, and there's your goal. You get 4 rocks, you can have a game. You got enough kids, enough guys, enough girls, you got a game. You got at least all you need is a soccer ball, or shoot, I'm sure some kids don't even play with a soccer ball. They play with anything that they can find. And and they fall in love with the players that they see on TV or hear on the radio, and it's just insane to see something like that happening. So, what do you think, Mark? Like this whole fiasco that happened within a 72-hour period.
I think, in my opinion, I think that I'm 50-50 with it. I think that I want to see them. I want to see Manchester United. I want to see Liverpool. I want to see the teams that got the most money probably playing the other teams that got the most money. Yeah. Because let's not get it twisted. I know as much as, European and, United Kingdom soccer fans, British, if you will, I think that as much as they want to say it's for the fans, it was made for the, built by the poor, stolen from the rich. Yeah, that's true in a way. But at the end of the day, I kind of got another argument to make, and it might be a little bit controversial in my opinion. But guys, it's like, if you guys want your team to compete with the top 6, Tottenham, we talk about them all the time. Jose Mourinho obviously just got fired from them. But in my opinion, Tottenham, they don't win trophies. They're not that good of a team, but in some aspect they're in the top 6. Why? Yes, I obviously because they play in London, they obviously got a big market there. But in my opinion, I think they play in the top 6 because how they sell themselves, right? I think it's all about market value and the way you market yourself in this day and age.
Arsenal,
and it might
it's like Arsenal. Like ever since I've been a fan, Arsenal hasn't been a contender, maybe a top 4, but they haven't been anywhere close.
Historically, they have, but not recently.
Yeah. So this league, this Super League, guys, and I want to put it in quotes, the Super League, because I want to throw it out to you guys. I've thrown it out to you guys during the week and, pre-production text threads and that we do throughout the week. But fans, if you guys got any opinion on this, I know that football and I know that soccer is a huge, huge topic in sports, but let's not just get it twisted. There's a lot of stuff that goes on over the pond that has to do with racial injustice. So it's not just our country here in America. It's all over the place. But I don't know, man. I think that I want to see the best compete against the best, but I do not want to see, the fans, like they say, taken from the poor, but at the same time, they don't get to see their teams play against the top 6, which is messed up because I think it's still up in the air because I think there's still no definitive agreement whether or not, the Super League would still be playing in the EPL and vice versa. If the Super League was a Champions League, I think that they wanted to cancel once you join the Super League, and I think that's what made all of these teams obviously back out because once you join the Super League, Sean, if you can attest, once you join the Super League, you're done, right? I mean, you join the Super
League. UEFA sanctioned, yep.
And no team wants to deal with that. No team doesn't want to be a part of the EPL their
It's the
domestic league.
history, man.
Yeah, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup and whatnot goes on in England, but I just think it's trash. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys wanted to compete a league where you guys can play each other every year consistently because that's what brought the money. And I'm not. The more I think about it, I'm not really about it. You don't gotta qualify for it. You're automatically in it. And if you were gonna keep competing and not be playing B and C teams in other competitions when it came to the EPL and the FA Cup, if you were gonna be playing your guys' A teams in the EPL, FA Cups, UEFA leagues, I'd be all for it. But if you guys were just all about the A teams, in the Super League, and then the C teams in the EPL and in the Champions League and Europa League, then you know what? I'm not with it. So I see both sides of the coin, in my opinion. But going forward, the fans spoke, and I think that the players kind of spoke that the players aren't with it because obviously the only way to make the players happy, they would have to play more games. Me and you guys know, being a player, you ain't trying to play more games. If you can get away with less games, the same amount of money, they're just trying to add more to the players. The players are going to get taxed more. And we all know that the only people that are really going to be winning here is the JP Morgan Chase, the guys that put up about 4.6 billion, I believe, to try to get this intact. And then the Henrys, the John Henrys from Liverpool and the guys that own Manchester City or United and Stan Kroenke, the Arsenal owners. These are the guys that are trying to benefit from it. Straight capitalists from America, where I'm with it. You want to try to grow your brand, but at the end of the day, you're dealing with history. You're dealing with teams that have been around before you guys were even born, before you guys were even thought of. So
traditions that were there before they were even born, man.
And you know what? Another opinion, you guys give it to me right now. Relegation. I love relegation. Thank you. 3 up, 3 down. F you. If you guys, if we can, imagine relegation in the United States, but we can't because it's about money.
We don't do a table either, though, so it'd be a little different setup. We have the divisions, and the only sport you have conferences is really NBA, East and West.
Guys, let me say one thing. We can
have a lot of conference. Yeah.
Let me say one thing. We can end this, guys. I said when we started this podcast, give it a couple years, MLS soccer is going to be above. What did I say? NFL, football. No, I don't think I'm on that trajectory. Not yet.
Never will.
Not yet. Probably never will. Thank you, Sean. But what I'm trying to say, you look at the MLB, the way it's going. You look at the woke NBA, the way it's going, right? I'm telling you, the way the MLS is marketing itself right now, okay? Games during the week, dude, we're getting good games right now. We're getting the Mexican MXL League on Fox Sports 1. We're getting a lot of shit going right now, bro. But what I'm trying to tell you is that soccer, bro, trust me, you're going to get a little bit, you're going to get a lot. I'm not going to say a little bit. You're going to get a lot more, you're going to get a lot more exposure for not just MLS, but just CONCACAF and CONMEBOL going forward.
Well, I think Mark, you said it best. I think you just copy and paste, right. Like we say. So there you have it. Just as fast as the Super League was there and gone. Episode 109.
We're getting better. America's getting better, bro. We're getting better. I'm telling you, man.
Episode 109 is there and gone as well. So thank you so much for everyone who tuned in and chatted with us on YouTube and Twitch. But fellas, take us away for another week of colliding the worlds of sports and comics.
Episode 109, another gem to the fans that listen to us live on YouTube, on Twitch. We thank you guys with all our hearts, week in and week out, and to the fans that will listen to this recorded episode. We appreciate you guys just as much. It's a weekly thing with us, as we always say, colliding the world of sports and comics. Definitely look out for us next week for episode 110, and maybe a special treat on the weekend for Mr. Miguel's 34th birthday. Jeez Louise.
34.
But hey, you know what? Like a bottle of wine better with age. Just my brother right there. So again, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. Check out your local comic book shops. If you're local, Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. And yeah, definitely give us a post, a review, subscribe. Have fun with the comic bookies, guys. We love you guys.
Thank you, Sean. You said it. Thank you for our sponsor. Thank you for all the fans and everybody that can make this true tonight. It was fun. It was episode 109. Next week, 110. We got a special. If you're into NASCAR, if you're into racing, you need to definitely check in next week's guest. We're going to leave it at that. We'll give you guys some little hints going into the week next week. But yeah, man, Curry, Marlow, we got the A's. We didn't even touch on that. The A's on an 11-game win streak, guys. It's so much stuff to touch on. Not enough time. But man, I gotta let me just tell you guys, the A's. Let me tell you this: 11 straight since starting 0-6. And according to Elias Sports Bureau, guys, they're the first team ever to win 11 straight at any point in the season after starting 0-6. And they did it in their first 19 games, guys. So the A's, where is Casey Pratt? Throw your hands up right now. ABC7, Casey Pratt, because Matt Chapman, you might have been onto something. We might be going over 100, baby. Thank you, guys. Thank you, comic bookie fans, baby. Let's go Oakland A's. Let's go Warriors. Let's go Patrick Marlow. Let's go everybody in the Bay, and let's go everybody all over the world. Mike, if you got any announcements to make from new downloads or whatnot, let us hear it. But
where's
thank
my
you,
passport, baby?
I do.
Thank you, T.
I do.
Thank you, Treasure Island Comics, and let's go, man. Thank you. I love you guys.
First of all, Twitch Co-Cowboy, thank you so much for the love. He says, good show, guys. So I hope so, too. I hope everyone enjoys the show.
Thank you, Twitch Co.
So anyways, yes, we don't have any new countries, but I can say that over the last 10 episodes that this podcast has been reached in 14 different countries around the world, including the United States. And so besides the San Jose, San Francisco, Oakland area, and of course the Stockton, Modesto, Manteca area, those are the top 2 downloads for our podcast. But the third has bumped up from the 5th to the 3rd now is Washington, D.C., specifically the Hagerstown area. So whoever's downloading us there, thank you so much. And for everyone else tuning in right now, please share the show. We want to be reached in so many more countries. This is crazy. This is so cool that, 3 time zones away, 3 hours away, like right now, literally at 2:46 a.m. Like someone's like going to download us right now. This is so cool. But this has been the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in live, and thank you so much for tuning in wherever you get your podcasts. But this is Mike, that is Mark, that is Sean. We will see you next week with a killer interview in episode 110. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and enjoy each other. Peace the hell out.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace, and always enjoy each other. Enjoy your sports. Enjoy your family. Remember, guys, summer is right around the corner. We got hot summer days and cocaine nights if you guys is down with it. But nonetheless, thank you guys, and stay with it and stay positive, because this is what we do every day, every week at the Comic Bookies podcast. We love you. Peace. Unbelievable. What?